John Gradek, there are ICAO norms, etc., that are in place when it comes to such a serious crash. There are various aspects that are in place as far as how the investigation is to take place. Do you share the concerns that have been expressed by the previous speaker, Captain Sam Thomas, when he says that there has to be impartial inquiry that is conducted under full public glare? Is there any way, for instance, that Boeing could try and subvert that? Because if there is a problem with the aircraft, then that also, brings Boeing into scrutiny.
You're listening to all of the people in the panel today saying that, it's way too early for us to make any speculation about responsibility and accountability. So, but it is important that we have the AIPD do a job of making sure that everybody who has a role to play in this aircraft certification has a seat at the table when they review the data coming from these black boxes. There cannot be any data withheld. There cannot be any data that's not transmitted to all these people. They all have to be there, whether it's the US NTSB, the US FAA, Boeing, GE, the Air India, the Pilots Association. I think that there are a lot of players that have a role to play in aviation in India, and I think that we have to make sure that all of those players are sitting around the table, and there is full transparency,
right? Full
transparency across all of that data being discussed around that table.
All right, Captain Bhatnagar is back with us, I'm told. Yes, Captain Bhatnagar.
Yeah, what I was saying, that people have taken it too far, and what I also expect that there should be full transparency as far as the investigation is concerned, because this is going to affect the entire Boeing fleet, Dreamliner, as well as the entire nations, all the countries, those who are operating the Dreamliner. So right now the thing is, what has happened is people have taken it too far, that all the theories. Aircraft has gone down, yes, because of the loss of lift. But what has happened? What caused? Whether the electrical has caused the failure or the engine failure have caused the electrical power to shut down. And RAT has extended and the APU has come into picture, APU started. So it is too premature to say anything about till the time the inquiry gets over and you get data from the FDR to analyze what exactly was the cause of this aircraft going down with loss of lift.
Okay. And I want to bring in Captain Amit Singh on that, because Captain Amit Singh, you've written extensively on safety related to Indian aviation. You've spoken about various conflicts of interest, etc. In this particular case, do you have any concerns specific to the nature of the investigation that is taking place?
Like in the previous investigations and other panelists are saying, it has to be an open investigation, not a closed-door investigation, wherein the public has no participation, because public is a major stakeholder. They need to know what's happening. So all investigations like the NTSB does has to be open, and all the dockets have to be put out for the public viewing so that they can be scrutinized. For example, there was a Trichy accident of a 737 in which there was a tail strike. The aircraft dragged and hit the wall, then took off. I've been trying to get the weight of the aircraft when it landed back, because there is a great possibility that the aircraft was overloaded. But past 3 years, I've not been able to be successful in getting the data. For various reasons, I have to approach the courts, but still it is dragging in the court for the past 2 years. So why is the data, which is not privileged, not basically protected by the Act, being shared with the public? So IQ also say that it should be shared with the public. Transparency. How will we get transparency? So in this case also, it has to be started basically with the weight of the aircraft. How will we determine the weight of the aircraft when most of it is destroyed? So there has to be, because there could be a criminal angle to it. If it is overloaded, then somebody is willfully being involved in endangering the passengers' lives. So all these aspects have to be taken beyond AIB also. So
absolutely.